Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Got a nice video already lined up. This is a craft that I caught in the Ring of Fire solar eclipse. I'm going to show you the original shot. But just take a look at that, folks. See the point at the top? It's purple. It has this upper edge that always reminds me of a tank turret. And then, of course, the disc-shaped object. You see the dimensions and detail and geometry that's going through it. Purple point at the top. Seeing is believing, you already know. The weather is about to go super goofy, so get ready for that power to go out. That dust storm is going to cause a lot of damage. It's going to change weather patterns, not for the good. It's going to be harsh on crops for lack of sunlight. And this is the original shot, folks. So have yourself prepared. They talk about wearing a mask when you see those dust particles in the sky physically with your eye. If you're outside, you should have a mask on. That's what I'm going to tell you about that. You don't want to be breathing in foreign particles that you can see with your eye, let alone, just when you see dust like that, trust me, go inside your house, turn your air on, or if you're out, you definitely want to have a mask on. Because that's visible particulates. Don't want to breathe that in. And like I say all the time, these craft right here, they release some type of gas or smoke to help themselves cloak. And this was going right past the eclipse. The eclipse is happening here, and this thing just floated past slowly. And you see the stuff coming out the top. Moving on. Hold on, you know what? Let me take a look at this. Because it looks like some entities were standing around. See if that would translate. Just the focus. Pull down some light. Yeah. Looks like a woman sitting here. Here's her head. Here's her arms. Her body. And like another entity off to the side here. And another one here. We got 3 sitting. This guy over here looks like some type of Shrek looking creature. Like a troll or ogre. See his massive head. Here's his eye, mouth, arm. It's crazy, folks. I'll show you some crazy things in this video coming up. Trust me when I tell you. Unbelievable things. But believable. Moving on. When I see this right here, I know that's Chris Archer. Talk to Chris on the phone, trust me. He knows what's going on. Do I have to say that? That's a face. For all the Skywatchers now that watch my channel and others, you're well aware. Well aware. Entities all on the edges. People. Yeah. Humanoid beings. Let's zoom in tight on the face. Eyes, eyes, woman, man. Look at that. That's freaking crazy. It's going to get crazier though, folks. Strap in your seatbelts. About to see some weirdness. And you still can see the entities all on the edge. Okay. The face. And then the giant mask they're on. It's a massive craft. Massive ship. All cloaked out. I'm telling you folks, all supernatural stuff. Same type of stuff they show you in movies. It's a reality. It's not even that far away from you too. We're going to get to that later. Chris Archer. Whenever you see recorded by that logo. I'm going to show y'all this. Let me try to get it nice and even and straight. Zoom all the way in. There we go. This is a massive face that's in the sky. Not human, for sure. Let's take a look at that, folks. Looks like some type of reptilian. Here's the pointed ear. Here's the gigantic eye and slit or pupil. Here's the nose region and the mouth. Front part of the head coming down into the nose, mouth. Bottom of the chin. Just take a look at that, folks. That's crazy. And when I zoom in, you'll see like that's a pointed ear. Very organic. So like that. There we go. And please let me know how we keep calling clouds when they have points like this. These are giant vessels that are in the sky. Okay. This one has a giant head on top of it. And you see a massive ship. Different levels and tiers to it. Dark spots or portals or openings into the craft. I'll zoom in a little tighter. Just a light. You see it? How it's like a step. Massive body of the craft. Then aerodynamic points. Always. It's a massive face on top. I mean, let's look into that eye. Let me show you. Oh, here's one. I put the outline around so people can actually see what we were looking at. The eye, the nose, the pointed ear, the creases in the mouth, the weirdness of the front of the nose. And then we go back to the original. See what I'm saying, folks? part of the ship. Pyramids, vector shapes, whatever you choose to call them. But that's the giant face that's on top of that craft. And here we go. The one with the outlines. And then we have it right side by side circled. Look at that ear, that gigantic eye. Ridiculous. Let's digress a little bit, folks. Chris Archer again. He black and whites the videos. All types of things pop out. Now, y'all can put in the comments what you think this looks like. And just say, hey, Riz, the picture with the black arrow looks like this. I'm not going to say what this looks like. I mean, this to me is so crystal clear. Follow my cursor. We have this gigantic circular object. Then we have something that looks like it's poking out the front, always conducive or reminiscent of some type of animal from nature. That'll be your clue. Okay, I'll zoom in on the face. You can see the mouth is open. It has appendages at the bottom that looks like maybe like part of a beak or let's say teeth, for lack of a better word. Here's his eye. Here's the front of the head. Like I said, the mouth is cracked open. That's the bottom of the neck. A little foot sticking out. Moving on. Original picture. Are you serious? Massive structure. Blocking out all visible light. And then we have the object that the arrow was pointed at. That everyone is going to tell me what this looks like. Okay? All right. Got that again. Face. Okay. I know y'all see that face, but that comes from here. Massive, for lack of a better phrase, alien looking head. Looks like it has some type of hood that's going around itself. Like, I mean, this is stereotypical alien from off of the movies. Wrinkle in the forehead that's catching light. Eye, nose, mouth. Almost looks like the face on Mars, which we all know that was fake. But this is in our skies right now. Just multiples everywhere. Massive structures in our sky, and people, regular people, don't even pay attention to it. I mean, look at these craft up here. There's one at the top, one giant one in the middle, and then another one at the bottom. That's 3 separate craft right there, folks. And look at that face being projected. Side profile, eye, nose, mouth. I'm telling you, just like the Chronicles of Riddick, these ships have faces on them. Animal faces, human faces. alien faces, faces that are not human. Detail, structure, and design every single time. Geometry that's unnatural to what people call the skies. This is from Google to show you that this is a bat's face, a bat, ears, mouth, eyes. Different profile. And because I just showed you that image, I want to show you this. Shout out Chris Archer again. Unbelievable stuff. He redid some of Collage work and reposted it and then put it in this type of format, the hardcore black and white. But I want to show you this giant entity that's in the sky. Here's his head. I just showed you the bat, and it has the face of a bat. Here's his wings spread out. Here's his body. Now let's put some light on this to see if it comes up a little better. Okay, there you go. That's right out of a horror movie. Let's zoom in on the face. This is with no highlight, no contrast, no nothing. You can see the eye of the bat or the giant creature. Here's his mouth. Here's the two nostrils in the front. You see it? See this thing sticking out the side of his head that looks mechanical? Because these things are organic machines. Trans-organic. It's so crazy. I mean, look at that. That is a machine part. Perfectly like some type of pipe. Circular object there, round. You see it's set in. And it's sticking out the side of this creature's head. Here's his nose, his eye. Here's the giant head. I'll hold that in again. Let me pull my, you know what? This, look, there's the eye right there. See the black and the white part going around it? Nose, mouth, giant head, appendage sticking out the side. Seeing is believing. Yeah, that's very clear. Trying to do this video before the sun comes up. And right on top of it is a massive, massive ship. But let's go back to the giant bat. We have another picture where we lighten it up. Look at the edge of the wings, folks. Look at these spikes and ridges. Almost look like fishtails. You could just follow my cursor. Follow my pen. You see the line going around it. That's the whole creature. Wings out on this side, wings out on that side. And let's zoom in on the face. Pull down some of the light, of course. And let that focus in. Unbelievable. Look at the other entity that's popping out right under him. Has giant ears or horns sticking out. He has eye here, eye here. He has a bird beak and an elongated neck. And then we zoom out. You can see the giant bat or winged entity right over top of him. Bear with me, people. Hold that there for a minute. Twist these blinds around so we can get this a little darker. There we go. Look at that, folks. The second entity that was coming up from beneath the giant bat creature, giant horn being, eyes, beak. Look at this. This looks like a cross on one of the side of the craft. See it? This picture right here is about to get really, really stupid, y'all. And right in the plain open is a massive craft sitting right here. That's it right there, folks. I'm going to go back to the original, but I just wanted to show you the outline and detail in that shit. Now let's go back to the original. It's right here. Zoom in on it. See how the side doors of the ship are open and entities are going in and out of it? It's a person standing right here. I told you, this is all about souls. Look at light beings going inside. This guy's wearing a robe and a strange hat, looking this way. And you see the light being going in. If you can't see, like, that's an opening, I don't know what to tell you. This looks like the side of a house with the door open. And an actual double-edged doorway. And you can see it's dark inside. Like, come on. And even at that distance, it's the same thing. Massive craft. Side door open. Person standing there. Light beings going in. These are all entities, angels, beings. I mean, you if you can't clearly see, like, that's two eyes and a nose and a mouth. I don't know what to tell folks. A lot of folks are in fear because, you know, you must know, like, you're wicked or bad or whatever you want to call it. You're not right. So, you know, when I show stuff like this, it scares you. You see the faces. Point my finger at it. I mean, come on. If you can't see another face staring back at you, I really don't know what to tell you. And it really shouldn't matter where it is. If I'm showing you in the sky, that's full disclosure that no fake ass government of this hell will ever tell you. But I'm gonna show and prove, because that's what I do. I'm not big on talk. I'm big on showing evidence. All this smart technology and camera phones and, you know, highest resolution and pixel this, but people are still at a low level when it comes to learning. And you have one of the best learning tools at your disposal. Okay. Giant beings in the sky, folks. You see his gigantic head with the split in the middle, white mustache, and he's spitting something out of his mouth. Yes, you can see the cloak or chain going around his body, like he's wearing a giant robe, and this is what connects it. He has white hair. I talked to a few people, and then I talked to Chris Archer, and he said this is part of the 12 giants that are above, that like manage or overwatch the firmament. He said it's actually written in the Bible. So This is it. I'll zoom in on the eyes to show you the intensity of the eyes. Yeah, that's how I prove things in the Bible. When I can gather information with my own physical eyes, my own school of thought, real photos and pictures, and then examine them. And you see it's all types of structure up here, folks. Massive ship with purple and green in it, lines going through it. Just this whole picture is one gigantic total interaction from giants that me and Kalai talk about all the time. Especially Kalai. Giant beings that are still around. I mean, come on. This is a giant creature here, and this is a massive UFO. Just hold that there, and you see he's spitting something out of his mouth. Because that's creation right in front of your eyes right there, folks. These giant beings create through sound. They open up their mouth and there's no sound, but entities are born. Spirits are born. Dimensions are made. Highlight it to show you the dimensions of his head, the massive structure that he has on top of his head, crazy white mustache going around his face, spitting something out of his mouth, the robe that you will see, or the chain that holds up a robe of royalty, and then right across from it a massive UFO with all types of appendages and geometry sticking out of it. Ridiculous. Giant winged creature. See this, folks? This is from one of Gina Marie's videos that I saw, and the entity is actually right there. I'll zoom in on him. You can see his head. You can see his wings folded out on both sides. It has a spike on either end. And I'll try to get a tight shot of the face. Just let the focus catch up. Hard to get in on the face, but you can see the spikes on the edge of the wing. That's one with a little bit of highlight and contrast to make it stick out more. Be prepared for everything to be re-shut down again. Grand opening and grand closing is coming, folks. Nothing will ever be the same. They're going to re-shut everything down again and issue another stay-at-home order. Trust me when I tell you. Mark this date, July 1st, 2020. The Jester. Showed it in the Google image earlier. I'll go back to it. You see the appendages sticking off on either direction. Giant face, eye, nose, mouth, top of the shoulders. It's just sitting in a craft, and it's feminine. It's the original picture. So crazy. A lot of my people, so-called black people, don't know who they are, don't know where they are, and they don't have a lot of this type of knowledge. But when I talk to other so-called races of people, they profess out their own mouth like they know everything that's going on. They know who we are. It's just astounding that the people that should know don't know. That's the image of the Jester. And before this video ends, I'll go back to her or it. It's just amazing. The The so-called black race is under a massive hypnotic spell, a voodoo, black magic spell, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's serious, folks. I talk to some people and they're just oblivious. Then I talk to other so-called groups or nations or races of people, whatever you want to call them, fully aware. They overstand and ultrastand everything. Talking to another so-called black person is like trying to pull a tooth out to get them to understand things. It's just a curse, folks. Some people get over it, some people don't. Peace, love, and light.